Hello, medieval history students, and happy Monday. We are finishing up our Islam and interconnectedness project. Everything is due February 14th. So you have, let's see here, you have all of this. Well, you have about 2 weeks. You have this week, and then it's going to be due next Friday. So not this Friday, but next Friday. So that's, I think, more than enough time to finish up. I'm probably being a little too generous. Okay, so what are you doing then this week? Okay, so you need to start working now on your final products, if you haven't already, the inquiry argument and the new student guide. And so I have this week, I have this creating interconnectedness at CPDLF lesson to help you with these, because these final checkpoints, this one here, 10, 11, they all go hand in hand with these final products. You need to finish all of these. I know a lot of you want to jump right to the final products. Well, you really can't do that because you need the information in these checkpoints, and a lot of times you're just copying and pasting stuff into here. Like what you do here, this is basically the final product here. And I'm giving you feedback. And if there are any changes that need to be made, you make them, and then you put it into your final product. Okay? But let me just explain my lesson for you here. So I called it Creating Interconnectedness at CPDLF. Okay. So the learning target is I can create an effective student guide to make a new student feel connected at CPDLF. And I'm just doing this directly to help you with that final product. So let me ask you this. How connected do you feel at school here at CPDLF? How could you help a new student feel like they belong? You learned a lot about how Islam created a sense of interconnectedness across Afro-Eurasia in the past. So what lessons can you learn from that to put into practice into your own lives here at CPDLF? So think about some of the things you learned with Islam and what they did. How did they make people feel like they belonged? I mean, were they tolerant of others and their views? Remember how they were tolerant of other religions? They shared ideas. Okay, so just think about everything you learned with that. All right, in this lesson, you will start working on your final product, a new student guide. We will explore why a sense of belonging in school is important. You will get the chance to see how another school is putting it into practice. Think of ideas for your student guide throughout this lesson. Okay, and I just have a little picture here of CPDLF. All right, so as always, there's an Explore section. What I did was I put in the CPDLF Student Handbook, and you have this already in an actual binder, but there's also an electronic version. And I wasn't sure if you knew that or not. So it's here. And I did that just to help you familiarize yourself on important terms and policies of our school. You may not even need it for this, but I thought, hey, why not give you that extra resource? Think to yourself, what are the most important things that a new student entering CPDLF would need to know? How can we make them feel a sense of belonging? And think to yourself as you're doing your new student guide, when you were new, what would have helped you? You know, in a guidebook like this, what like key terms and ideas would help you to feel like you belong, and just so you weren't overwhelmed in the beginning. So think about yourself. Okay, so and then I have this Newswella article that I wanted you to read. It's about a school and what they're doing to create a sense of belonging among their students. So here it is. Program allows special education students to connect with their peers. So this one is pretty cool. So I want you to read that. And if there's an issue, you've read many Newswellas before, but if there's an issue getting on, just contact me, and then I'll give you like the code if you don't already have it. Okay, so this one here is a video that I want you to watch. It's called Let's Help Bob Belong, and it's all about to learn more about how you can make kids feel like they belong at school. And it's just a few minutes long, but I think that'll help you to generate ideas for your new student guide. And then I have some flashcards on connectedness. And if you recall, this kind of goes in with your Connect You lessons, because we did something on this already about being connected before we went to Christmas break. And then I have a brief quiz on connectedness here on the terms that you learned here. Don't forget, in this Explain, I want a few sentences here answering this question. How can schools help students to feel a sense of belonging or connectedness? And you'll get that from this Explore section, okay? In particular, this Newswella article, this is very good for that, this video here, okay? You'll get great ideas there. Then this is your time to shine here. So in the elaborate, use the ideas you gained in this lesson to work on your own new student guide. Complete the 2 checkpoints. How can we become more interconnected? And new student guide draft. You will be assessed on the cognitive skills, identifying patterns, relationships, and multimedia in communication, because you have the freedom to use any tech tools you want and to make your little student guidebook, okay? And I gave you already in the Hangout, I gave you an example of a student who did it last year. Just don't think that's the end all be all and that's exactly a straight A, because there would be some changes this year because everything changes with Summit every year in terms of requirements. But so that's what you're doing this week. Okay, so you're working now on your final products. You're going to do my lesson, which helps you with them. And then 10 and 11 are working on that final product. And they're both helping you with the new student guide. And the inquiry argument you may have already completed because you would have done that with answering the compelling question. Okay, because that one deals still with the past. We're looking at that in terms of how did the Muslim empires and institutions help different regions of Afro-Eurasia become more interconnected. So this one's an argumentative claim, okay? So that you may have already done. If you did this lesson, you should have done it, and it'll go into here. And now we're working on this new student guide. Okay, so that's what you're going to be working on these next 2 weeks. And remember, everything is going to be due Friday, February 14th. So nice Valentine's Day, right? You get to work on these final products. You submit them and be done. Then you can do your Valentine's Day plans. Okay? All right, so I'm here if you need me for anything. You guys have a wonderful week.